What's up, weirdos? It is time for another garden tour. Today is June 1st, 2020. And yeah, let's go into the garden and see how things are going. I've been doing a lot of work. I've planted some more lettuce. I'm going to do a little bit of lettuce after this video. I'm going to plant some more in here. You can see it's starting to come up over there. These are our other beds. There's some lettuce in here. I have to do some weeding in here also, but not the best germination rates. So I might reseed this. I do have a row of spinach right there on the end, and it's looking pretty good so far. This is the spinach that we've been harvesting. It's looking good. The arugula bolted already, so we are no longer picking that. We just went ahead and ripped all the plants out and used what we could. Kale, it's getting pretty big now. Looking good. And again, more lettuce, which we've been picking for probably about a week now. So looking good. Mint in the little pot right there. It's amazing. It comes back every year. Same thing with this marshmallow plant over here. It comes back every year too. Very soft leaves. Okay, so catnip, echinacea, or purple coneflower, whatever you want to call it. Potatoes are getting big, and again, these potatoes, I planted them all the way as deep into the pots as I could. That way I don't really have to add any soil. I might top it off a little bit, like some of these pots, they could probably use a little bit of soil. Maybe get a few extra potatoes that way. More mint over here. We got some chamomile also. A lot of potatoes too. Chamomile looks like it's gonna flower here pretty soon. Yeah, looking good. And again, peas. These are the peas that could handle the really bad cold snap. It got down to like 25 degrees here a few weeks ago, and peas did just fine. I didn't even cover these, and they're looking okay. I did have to replant some because a lot of them didn't come up, and then the ones that I replanted, they didn't come up either. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plant some beans in here, right along the fence. This is gonna be cucumbers. I'm gonna wait for another week or two. And then I have some cucumbers coming up right now, looking good. And then I have a row of beans right here. These are the Vortex beans, pole beans. And then peppers in that bed over there with some basil. They're coming along. These are banana peppers. Some of them I had to replant, but most of them are okay. Yeah, they were really scrawny whenever I first planted them, but they're getting a lot bigger now. And then zucchinis, they're getting pretty big. These are mostly gold zucchinis. I've got an Italian heirloom right here, Costata Romanesco. And I planted that one from seed. The rest I got at the greenhouse. Went ahead and thinned out my beets and my carrots. As you can see, there's probably, I don't know, a couple inches between them, between the carrots. The beets, I try to leave probably about 3 or 4 inches between. It kind of worked out that way where there's, maybe larger gaps. But overall, looks pretty good, and I think we're actually gonna get some beets this year, so that'll be really nice. This bed is potatoes that came up. I just decided I was gonna do watermelons here, but I just decided to leave it and just let the potatoes grow. I'll probably put some broccoli in here. I'm just waiting on my seeds to come in the mail. I didn't have any broccoli seeds left, so I just went ahead and ordered some. So once I get here, I'm gonna plant some broccoli in here, maybe late June or something like that. We'll have a nice fall crop. Same thing over here. More potatoes in the pots there. Goji berry looks good. Wild thyme over there. The blueberries. 2 of the plants don't look so good. Like this one here, there's only a couple leaves on it. This one is just starting to leaf. It's just, I don't know, it's way behind. And then this one was really red before, but as you can see, it's starting to turn more green. So that's really good. I think when it's red, it's maybe not acidic enough. I think it also has too much iron in the soil. So I added a lot of hollytone, and it seems to be helping. And then this is our tomato bed. Well, some tomatoes. These are our big tomatoes. Persimmons. They look really good. I got these ones at the greenhouse a few weeks back. You can see it's already got a flower on it. And then brandywines. I got some marigolds in there. I've got a row of onions. Those are just green onions. And then Look, this looks like, I think this is a carrot that came up from last year, but I'm not 100% sure. It might be something else. Is it Queen Anne's lace? I have no idea, but it's pretty big. And then I have some kohlrabi in here. I need to thin this out a little bit too, because some of them are pretty close to each other. And I don't know what this is. I think this is broccoli or cauliflower, but it's definitely not kohlrabi. Let me know, guys, if you know what that is. This one right here, because it's completely different. These have purple stems. This one's got like a kind of a greenish white stem. So I don't know. I know it's some kind of brassica, but I don't know what it is. And then more Romano beans here. These are Romano beans. These are Vortex. More tomatoes here. These are Cherokee Purple. Got some borage in there. It's looking really good. And green onions and some other things in there, some marigolds. And then that reminds me, there's another bean over here. I don't know what this one is. It looks different from all these ones. These are the Vortex. And this one's kind of purplish, so I don't know what kind this one is. It's like double the size of all the other ones. So we are going to find out. Who knows what it is. And then we got another tomato in here. This one over here, this is a Kellogg's Breakfast. It's a big orange tomato. I got a bunch of them over in the overflow garden too. This is lemon balm, and it came back and it's looking okay. The other pot that had lemon balm is coming back too, but it's a little bit slower. Basil and peppers, these are bell peppers. They're looking pretty good. And then I have the peas, which are really ahead of pretty much everyone else around here. I got these planted in mid-March. Everyone's saying, "Oh, they're not gonna germinate." Well, they did, and it was almost 100% too. So, yeah, pretty good with the peas, I think. So we're gonna have peas here hopefully soon. I don't see any flowers yet. Usually we get flowers about this time, maybe another week. So that means peas are coming hopefully pretty soon. And then I have Zeppelin delicata squash right here. Those are shell peas right there. This is spaghetti squash right here. I just realized that my finger was in the way of the camera. Sorry, guys. The raspberries. Raspberries looking good right here. Again, this is the one that died. Or I think it was just at the end of its life cycle. And so this new cane is coming up. Here's our other raspberry. This is, I think it's, what is it? Caroline raspberry? I'm not sure, but I think that's what it is. Again, more tomatoes. These are cherry tomatoes in here. I've got 4 Matt's Wild Cherry, 4 Gold Nugget Cherry, and 4 Black Cherry. And this one right here, this one looked dead for like 3 straight days. It was all wilty. And it just sprung back up yesterday. Now it looks healthy again. So I don't know what caused it, but it's looking good now. Goji berry right here, looking good. And again, wild strawberries. And we're finally starting to get some little strawberries on it, as you can see. These are going to be yellow, or not yellow, but I think they're going to be white strawberries, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the kind. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, they're not going to be very big. They're wild strawberries. Next year, I think I'm going to plant a raised bed of just regular red strawberries. And right over here, I think I'm going to build a bed right here. I think that'll look pretty good. I mean, we got room for it, so might as well. And then we have the overflow garden. And I finally finished planting that last week. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to put a fence around it because my plan after the growing season is to turn this into that with all the wood chips and the fence around it and the raised beds, because we have heavy clay soil here and it really sucks. It sucks trying to grow stuff. So yeah, I think this is the last time I'm gonna try to grow in the ground. But yeah, maybe I'll just till up a little patch for next year for like pumpkins or something. But for the rest of it, I'm definitely gonna do more raised beds. it just works so much better. So that's what I'm gonna do there. As you can see, I have a lot of tomatoes. They're still pretty tiny. Yeah, they're still really small. But this whole row right here is tomatoes. I've got paste tomatoes, I've got cherry tomatoes. I got a row of peppers. I don't normally plant my peppers in rows. I usually do blocks, but I wanted something that was going to be really easy and not much of a hassle. Just plant it, weed it, and not really worry too much about it. I got a row of beans planted here. They haven't come up yet. And then sunflowers. I think the sunflowers start right about here. And then they go down. There's a couple mounds down there. These are my sunflowers that I started from seed. Looks like one of them is going to die, but the other one looks all right. Then these are going to be squash. One Zeppelin delicata and then one spaghetti squash. More peppers over there. And then I have some watermelons that a friend gave me. And I'm not exactly sure what the name of this one is. It's a red-seeded, red-fleshed watermelon. And I have some nasturtiums in there too. They look pretty good. They're looking pretty healthy. I've never been successful growing watermelons, so I'm gonna try it his method, which was just make a big mound and water it as much as you can. And we've had a little bit less rain this year than we normally do, or at least the last few years. We usually get a lot of rain in the spring, and especially in June. And so far it's been actually a little bit more normal like it used to be. Not as much rain. I don't have anything planted here yet. This is going to be beans at some point. I do have one of my watermelons that did survive. It doesn't look that great. That's an orange glow. That one is a lemon drop. And then those two, I think those are Jubilee. I'm not 100% sure though. I have to ask my friend. And then more tomatoes here. These are Kellogg's Breakfast. I got a lot of those in here. I think I have probably about a dozen of those. And then I have a zucchini right here, Costata Romanesco. Then I had a bunch of other zucchinis, all those gold ones. I had a bunch of those left over. Gave some of them to my dad, and I kept the rest, and I just planted them in here. And then another row of tomatoes. These are all, I think they're big tomatoes, most of them. There's some beefsteaks, gold medal. That's a pretty big tomato too. Yeah, they look pretty good. They were really tiny whenever I put them in, so they're coming along. And then food forest, everything's looking good in there. I really need to get in here and kind of weed whack it down. I also want to get some more wood chips that I can, put on this whole enclosed area. I think that's going to be it's going to be so much easier. I don't want to deal with the weeds. And then I can start planting, different herbs and stuff like that in there too. And then the other marshmallow plant, it looks beautiful. I think there's 3 plants here, but I really like these. They're very, very soft. And they come back every year. I don't have to do anything with them. They just come back and do their thing. So yeah, I think that is good for now. That's about all, really. The garden is coming along. I got a lot of plans for it. I still have to get my tomatoes staked and caged. I think I'm going to do some of that today. And then, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain here the next few days. So get this watered a little bit. I've only had to water it once so far. And it took me about, 45 minutes or so. So it did take a while to water. It was a deep watering, but yeah, it worked out. And as long as I don't have to water it like 3 times a week, as long as we get a little bit of rain here and there, that should be good enough for the garden. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to be putting out more garden videos as the summer goes along. I'm going to try to get one out every week if I can. Just little updates here and there. And it sounds like somebody's shooting off something. I don't know. Maybe they're just shooting for fun. That happens all the time around here. Anyway, guys, see you later. Goodbye.